Hey guys, it's Carrie from Garden Rudiments. I wanted to give you an update on my tulip magnolia tree. And I know this is going to kind of go in and out of focus because the wind is blowing. So I hope there's not a lot of wind noise. But I wanted to show you the difference from last year around this time, and I'll put the date in there of when I did the previous video. But last time I did this update, this tree was just magnificent. But this year, we've had a lot of frost. We've had a lot of nights that got below 30 in this early spring. And so we have a lot of buds that are burned from frost. So I'm gonna zoom back and let you see kind of how this tree is going. So I have probably a lot more burned buds, flower buds, than I do ones that are not. So we have a patch that's kind of opened up that up towards the top third of the tree. They're looking a little bit better, but we've just had a lot of frost burn, a lot of frost damage to this tree. It's not going to hurt it, and you can see this tree, it's really grown. And I'm going to give you some care tips for this plant. We have two of them, and they're about 10 years old. And they are one of our earliest trees to put on buds, and they will actually bloom all through the year until late fall, but it just won't be a lot of blooms. You get your most prolific time of blooming in the early spring. So last year we had a very mild February and a colder March, but we didn't have as many frosts. But this year, it's more about the heavy frost that we've been having. Even last night, we were down to about 34. So we're getting a little better. We're not getting down into the low 20s or anything like that. And we've had a very mild winter. It's just been very wet. In caring for this magnolia tree, basically all I do is do some heavy pruning, and I did a heavy pruning last spring. So this year will not be a heavy pruning. It will just be looking at any cross limbs and taking out anything that is not going to keep an open center to this bush. And we'll do an up-close version of what I'm going to prune out of this tree. Now another thing is fertilizing this tree. I only fertilize along the drip line, so all the way around. You can use any type of fertilizer you like. I try to go with a higher nitrogen, so a triple 13 works well. You could put worm castings on top of the ground. You could do manure, would be great. I have a source of cow manure that I like to use, so I'll put it around it, but I just put it along the drip line of the trees, and that's basically all they need. This Magnolia Tulip Tree stays a lot smaller with the plants around 10 to 15 feet high, where a Magnolia Grandiflora can get 20 feet to 50 feet high. Southern magnolias are evergreen trees, and tulip trees are deciduous, so they drop their leaves each fall. So I don't know what this is, if this is actually a tulip tree. It is. This is actually a tulip tree that's growing up from the base. It has buds on it. But this needs to come out. This is not the way I want my tree to go. So those are two limbs that I've taken out. Now, I don't have my big pruners out here with me. I should have, but I'm going to show you what I'm going to let my husband come out here and take out. Can you see this limb here? See where it comes out and it crosses in between these? And then there's another one here. These two limbs need to come out. You can see it's crossing over a bunch of the others, and it gives the tree kind of a bad shape. It looks all tangled. I don't want that. I want this to come out. So this limb needs to come out, and this one that's crossing up into the center needs to come out, and that will open up the center. This will make for a better, healthier tree. and it'll have a much better appearance. So let's just look around. There's basically three smaller limbs there that need it. So this one, and then there's one that's coming off right there. So there's 3. And I think basically where we did such a hard prune last year, that's about all this one is going to need. But that will help clean that up a lot. So I hope this has helped you with your tulip magnolia. These are just such beautiful plants, and this one will look better here in probably another couple of weeks if the frost will hold off. But it's just not going to be as full and beautiful, you know, with blooms as it has been in the past, especially as it was last year. But if you have one of these beautiful trees, I would love to see yours. If you will go to Facebook.com Garden Rudiments, go on there and post me a picture of your tulip magnolia, and let me see in the part of the world you are how pretty your tree is this time of year. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video on Garden Rudiments.